Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're having a great day. Um, I'm still trying to get our technology going here a little bit over here. Ever since StreamYard stopped doing comments for us, it's been interesting. So I'm trying to get that going over here on the computers. But while we're doing that, I figured I'd jump on and say hi. I can see, I think, comments on the two streams that we have going. So I see that Leona is here. Hello, Leona. I don't recognize your name for the lives, so if you're new to the lives, welcome. Um, if you usually hang out and just don't say hi, that's another thing. Or maybe I've just missed your name. That's possible too. But welcome in either case. Um, Danette is here. Hello, Danette. Marianne is here. Hello, Marianne. Um, let's see here. It's blowy, snowy evening here in Canada, says Marianne. Damp and chilly here, says Danette. Good times to stay indoors and look at whatever goodies William has for us tonight, says Marianne. I like that idea. I like that idea. Um, May is here. Hello, May. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to do like we did on Christmas Eve. We're going to do giveaways tonight, as well as probably 30 some lots of goodies. So hopefully you all have a good time. I grabbed a bunch of stuff to sort through. I haven't really sorted. I've been working on things for Andrew today. Andrew's had me using the laser to cut a bunch of stuff um, all day. It has literally taken me pretty much all afternoon, all day. I went up to the cottage a little bit earlier today to do a little cleaning out of the pellet stove. And I worked on a few packages, but then it started raining, and we were expecting some really bad freezing rain and ice here. My mom messaged me. She's a few towns over, and she messaged me telling me that her windows on her house were completely glazed over in ice. And so I was like, I had better go home because I didn't want to be caught stuck at the cottage. The cottage is just far enough away from the house that it sometimes enters a different climate. Like it can be crazy snowy there, or it can be icy there. And down here in town, there we have nothing, or just snow, or just rain. I mean, um, and luckily, before I left, it was just raining there. So I got home, and it has only rained here. Some places a little bit further away from us have had a lot of ice, and like my mom's place, she has like she showed me pictures. Her trees and all her bushes were completely coated in that coating of ice. And so thankfully we did not get that here. So we're just rainy and cold and damp here in Ligonier. Um, but otherwise doing okay. Um, Andrew was up all night again working on some things, and he tried to go to sleep earlier today. And every time he'd go to lay down, the cats would start scratching on the door, or he'd bring a cat into the bed to rest with, and it would get up and run around. And so he ended up getting up and working most of the afternoon here with me, and he just lay down a little bit ago. So um, we may or may not see him on the live. I don't know. I don't know if we'll end up seeing him um, pop in here, maybe in comments if nothing else. But I don't think he had anything brand new ready to show on the live. He's working on a few different things. And like I said, he has me doing a lot of things on the laser, preparing him for doing things, but did not get any of that done. Even I'm still working on my portion of that because it's been a little bit difficult. Um, Sometimes the laser has a mind of its own. Um, let's see. I hope, how's the stream going? Is the stream okay for you all? On my end, my computer's acting very strangely. I'm losing Bluetooth connection to my mouse and keyboard every once in a while. The stream is jumping. I hope it's coming across okay on your end. I think it's just my computer, like in its last weeks, last months of life, and it's acting a little oddly. And let's see here. Danette says we got Rain only in Salzburg. Anne says that happens here. The west side can have different weather than the east side. Yeah, it's so strange. The cottage is like 15 minutes away, and it is a different climate. And that's heading up over the hill to Johnstown. Um, and it gets very much colder over in that area too. Um, let's see. Danette says, do you know if Johnstown got the freezing rain? I have no idea. I did not go to Johnstown today. I closed the store because I was not going to take the chance of getting stuck in Johnstown because it was going to be after the store opened is when all the freezing rain was supposed to happen. I don't think that they did, although I did hear that some parts of 30 became sheets of ice heading up. Um, Heading, I think, that way into Johnstown, 30 heading into Johnstown, that where you can go that way, which would be what, 30 east, ended up being sheets of ice at certain points. So it is possible. I don't know. I have not heard from anyone in Johnstown how it was up there. Um, Michelle says it's been flooding everywhere in California. That's terrible. That's not good. Um, Marianne says we have had totally different weather on on either side of houses. Yeah, I remember one time when I was young, watching the rain come through, and on one side of my grandmother's yard, half of her yard it was raining, and half of it wasn't raining. It was kind of cool, but that's just the rain coming through. But that's it was a cool thing as a kid to watch. Um, let's see here. And it says, I saw that in the news, Michelle. Hope you are safe. She says, we are. River near us has been flooding, though. Um, Seems fine now, says Marianne. Streaming so far is fine. Good. Good. Um, Danette says, I heard that Somerset had ice. Yeah. Somerset over that way, 30 east, they got ice, and apparently lots of it. Dangerous ice. Um, Says, no point in taking chances with freezing rain. That's what I figured. There, like, for one, we know this from having a store for 14 years. The moment the news people or the meteorologists say that this could be happening is the moment everyone decides they're not going to the store. They're not going out shopping. So the pure fact that it was announced and people were concerned about it, um, normally I would take a chance and go up. That's usually how we are. But I was like, there are enough people talking about this. No one's going out to the store. No one's going to try shopping today. So I stayed home and we worked from home. Like I said, I was at the cottage for a little bit today and did some work up there. But as soon as the rain started, I came back home. And and I've been here working on things, getting a lot done, mostly for Andrew for his projects, which is good. Um, it's something that these are kind of things that, um, you all know, like sometimes you want to really get into a project, but you have all this stuff you have to do before you can actually start on the real work. And that's what slows him down. It's what slows everyone down, right? Getting the prep work done. And so he didn't have pieces cut on the laser that he needed to have cut. And so he asked me if I would do them today. So that's what I've been doing. Um, and since I couldn't be up at the cottage doing a lot of shipping and stuff like that, I was like, why not? May as well do that. So that's what I did today. And then I got a little bit ready for the live, but like I said, that was mostly me gathering things around here, putting them in my trusty little box over here so that I can dig through it here with y'all and pull some good giveaways and some stuff for sale. So as you know, if you're new here, we chat first and hang out for a little bit, and then we get moving on to the actual, um, you know, the selling part of the show. I don't want to say the actual show because um, that's this whole thing is it. We love hanging out with you. It's more fun for me to just sit here and chat than it actually is to do the selling. But we have to do the selling to stay in business. And because the holiday season is generally a slower season, you wouldn't think so, but um, you know, when you are most people, and not all of our people, a lot of our people are making things for people, but um, when you're buying a lot of gifts for people, buying the components to make things, there's a certain point in time that that just stops, right? Um, and you have to have the stuff to make it. And so there's a point in time when our sales start to tank in the holiday season. And so we keep doing these shows throughout the holiday season. But like I said, this is fun for me. And we appreciate all the sales that we do make as we're doing this. It's probably similar for a lot of small businesses that operate in the way that we do, selling mostly components and things. Um, so keep that in your mind as you're going through the holiday season. And we certainly appreciate it when you all can support us. Um, Oops, there my computer just, I don't know what it's doing. I'm hoping it just timed out, but I think it kind of restarted itself. So I may be lacking on comments for a little bit here. Let's switch to the iPad. Um, yeah, I don't know what is happening. Um, Hold on one moment while I refresh what's going on. Make sure my sound is off so I don't have multiple things going here. Um, and let's see here. Um, and now I can't see. Some days. Okay. I think I'm seeing all the comments now. Maybe I can expand this screen big enough to get the comments on the side. That would be nice. There we go. And now let me open Facebook because some of y'all do still find us through Facebook and watch. Sorry, I don't know why my computer just decided to have a fit and completely restart. And it takes a long time for my computer to restart when that happens, unfortunately. There we go. Now I'm seeing comments. I was not seeing comments on Facebook. So sorry, y'all. Susie's here. Leona says good here. And Suzanne is here where it says 82 degrees here. Wow, that's nice. That's certainly nice. Let me try and get these windows lined up so that I can maybe see everybody's comments. All right, let's see here. Got a bit colder here today, but not too bad, says Susan. Hello, Susan, by the way. Thank you for joining us. And Norma is here too. Hello, Norma. I don't think I said hi to you. Um, I'm fine with snow, but ice, ugh, says Danette. Yep. Says, William, did you get deviled eggs yesterday? I did. I did. My mom made them, and she made a lot of them, and I got to bring some home too. So I got that. We got the vegetarian meatballs. They were more like meat patties instead of meatballs, but they were super good. And I had some of those for lunch and some leftover lasagna for lunch. I brought stuff home for Andrew, and he had some for dinner last night. And then I think he ate some in the middle of the night because there was more lasagna gone when I woke up today. So he had that in the middle of the night as his snack, or maybe early this morning. Because when I had lunch, he was not interested in eating, so he must have eaten. So we had that, and I don't know what we're going to eat tonight because we ate all of our leftovers already. There weren't really that many. Um, so we have stuff to make spaghetti. Well, not spaghetti, pasta. I always say spaghetti. In like growing up, we never said pasta. It was always spaghetti. And I know spaghetti is the very particular long noodle, right? But for us growing up, spaghetti was just the term that we used for pasta. Anything with a red sauce, no matter what kind of noodle it was, we were having spaghetti for the night. So that's kind of why I always say that. Let's see who else. Teresa's out there. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you here. How are you doing? I feel like, I don't know, have I not seen you in a while? I don't know why I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Maybe it's just because of the holidays. It's been a few days, right? Um, let's see here. Sorry, I had to plug in my iPad. I hope my phone lasts. This is crazy. This technology, I swear. Um, Oh, there. Now we just came up on my screen came up with some things again. So hopefully maybe these comments will work. Suzanne says we had actual spaghetti tonight. Nice. Leona says, yay, you can see us. Yeah, I couldn't see you before. Hopefully it continues being able to see you. Um, Michelle says we did it simple last night, had mac and cheese with meatloaf. That sounds good. I like mac and cheese, and I used to like meatloaf. Um, Danette says we did the same thing. Everything was spaghetti. Yeah, I think that's kind of the because you grew up around here too. So I think it's just kind of the way we used to just call everything spaghetti. Like, you know, now everyone, not everyone, but people do often correct me. Like, you didn't have spaghetti. Andrew will do it because he's like, it's pasta. We don't eat spaghetti. We rarely actually eat spaghetti. Um, And so, and a lot of the times my grandmother on my mom's side, she always said spaghetti, but she almost always did actually make spaghetti. So that was one of those things too that I don't think I remember her ever making. Sometimes she would make like things with egg noodles, but not with a red sauce. If it had a red sauce, it was spaghetti, and that was it. Um, let's see here. Ba, ba, ba. More of Marion says more of an Alfredo or Primavera sauce person. Yeah, I like that too. I like them all. I'm not gonna lie, but I cannot like um I can stand eating canned red sauce, like jarred or canned red sauce. Usually we get the jars. I do not generally like any Primavera or Alfredo type sauce that comes out of a jar. It just generally doesn't taste good. I don't like it. Andrew's kind of the same way. Maybe there's a brand out there we haven't tried, but just not a fan of it. So it ends up being that we generally buy that because it's quicker. I mean, it's not hard to make an Alfredo sauce, but it does take time. And generally, we are, worn out by the time we make dinner at like 10 or 11 at night. So whipping up an Alfredo sauce is usually not in the cards. Um, let's see what else. Anne says, I got leftover breakfast casserole, chocolate chip cheesecake, twice baked potato, and homemade cinnamon roll. I love leftovers. Me too. That sounds delicious. I would love those leftovers. Um, let's see here. Um, let's see. May says, I was in charge of the mac and cheese for my sisters. How did it go? I hope everything went well. How did all of your celebrations go, y'all? Um, sorry, I'm trying to get every time I tap on my screen, it wants to like it brings up the list to delete people's comments or block people. And I'm like, I don't want to block any of these people. Um, Suzanne had arrabbiata sauce with cheese. That's that spicy sauce. We don't generally have that because Andrew doesn't like things that are too spicy, and sometimes that's a spicy sauce. Doesn't that mean angry or something? I think it means angry or something in Italian. Arrabbiata sauce. Um, let's see here. Teresa says, haven't been here for a while, doing okay. I thought so. I thought we haven't seen you in a little bit. Um, Marion says, we probably would call it macaroni, but we didn't have it much. And says we had leftover chicken, stuffing, mashed potatoes, noodles, green bean casserole for supper today. Nice. Those are good leftovers. Um, May says, unfortunately, it got cold despite a short drive. Oh, well, I had like a 30 or 35-minute drive. I picked up my dad along the way, which added a little bit of time. So my lasagna was not hot by any means when I got there. But that was okay. It stayed warm, and that was all right. Um, let's see here. French toast for brekkie, nuts for lunch, and mini quiche for dinner, says Marianne. That sounds good. Michelle's having cheeseburgers tonight. You're all having such good food tonight. I'm like, we're gonna have like pasta and probably pretty plain pasta. I do have, I think, um, no, I don't have much. I had a little bit of soft taco stuff left over, but I don't think there's enough There might be enough for like one taco, maybe two, and that's not enough to eat. Um, let's see here. May says, I think my nephews get a foot taller every time I see them. Yeah, my niece and nephews, it's just they grow up so quick, so quick. My niece is into reading the is it Goosebumps books. And she got a little Kindle for her, one of her Christmas presents. And she got a Chromebook too, to do schoolwork and things like that. So um she's getting into doing a lot of reading. They say that she reads a lot, and that's exciting. And so they got her a Kindle, and then they had to put the parental controls to turn the Kindle off at a certain hour because they said she'll just stay up in bed reading all night if they don't catch it. Um, let's see here. Uh, the best part of my fifth day of Yule was my nap, says Marianne. Nice, nice, nice. Um, Michelle says we'll make it up next year when the hubby is working again. Yeah, some years, some years are lean. Andrew and I, we don't do a lot. We don't buy a lot of gifts for each other. Like we weren't going to get any, but I got him a book that he's been looking at and wanting. And he got me some brushes for doing Majolica kind of drawing, like I did in Italy, for ceramics. And none of that was super expensive, but we got little things for each other. And, we had made lasagna, and I went to my brother's. Andrew stayed home and worked on some things. Um, and he was worried about kids being sick or getting sick, or because he has teaching to do soon. And, but yeah, that was, some years, many of our years are um, much more low key than like they used to be in New York and stuff. Like we kind of used to go all out in some ways when we were both, working other jobs that had more maybe expendable income that came with them. But we invest so much back into this business that we don't have a lot for ourselves. Um, so that's what we do, and that's okay. That's all right. As long as you have a good time together and however you celebrate. Um, let's see here. Leona had a house full, says it was great. Yeah, sometimes it's great to have a house full, sometimes it's great to not, right? It all depends on your mood and how you see things and how well you get along with everybody. But I'm glad it was great for you. Um, Suzanne says the cats played with their toy fishes most of the day and night. That's cute. That's cute. Um, let's see here. Our cats we got them sardines for Christmas Eve. They had sardines on Christmas Eve. I felt bad because I didn't have anything like gifty to give them on Christmas Day because they had their treats on Christmas Eve. I didn't even get to go out with them because I was busy getting ready to leave most of the day on Christmas Day, and it was not great out. So the poor cats, they have been waiting, and today it was icing and, well, not icing here, but raining a lot, so they didn't get to go out today either. So they're like, what happened to our Christmas? I said, you got it on Christmas Eve. um, let's see here. We had chicken salad sandwich and pasta salad for dinner, says Norma. Nice. French toast yesterday, says May, is what we had. Today was healthy breakfast day with a frowny face. Is that a frowny face? Yeah, healthy breakfast day is a frowny. What's healthy breakfast day? Um, Marion says, since my French toast was made with wheat bread, it was sort of healthy. We always had wheat bread growing up. So anytime my mom made us French toast and stuff growing up, it was on wheat bread too. He says I should try that to justify eating more French toast instead of eating all brand cereal. Marion says no to brand cereal, right? I don't know. Um, Bran is good for you though, right? I guess maybe. I don't eat cereal much. I go through phases. There are phases that I'll eat cereal for like a month and then forget about it. Like it'll fall off the shopping list. I empty it out of the cabinet, stop buying milk. Um, we don't drink regular milk generally. So we end up drinking like some kind of nut milk. And so I'll go through these phases where I eat cereal. Usually, um, Special K strawberry. That's one of my favorites. Um, but I go through it and then I forget, like it's just like I forget to buy cereal someday, and then I'll go months without ever having cereal again. Um, Michelle says, I love Special K cereal. Yeah, me too. Marion says, of course, I would call it brown bread. We just called it bread because we never ate white bread in our house. Um, I never saw my mom buy white bread until like here now in my 40s. She'll buy Italian bread, or if sometimes she buys us little grocery bundles and she'll have some Italian bread in there. And I'm like, I have never known my mom to buy white bread. It's the weirdest thing. Um, when I see white bread at her place, or when she gets it for us, because we always just grew up with wheat bread. That's what it always was. Um, Hello, Susie. Thanks for joining us. Let's see, what did Danette say? French toast is healthy. It's made with eggs. 'Cause I saw May says that's what I tell myself. French toast is awesome. I don't think you need an excuse ever to eat French toast. I love French toast. Um, let's see here. Ba, ba, ba. My mother made white bread every week, says Marianne. Yeah, we did not make the bread. That would be different. We did not make the bread. We bought the bread. Um, But that's nice that your mom made bread. The only bread we ever like, my grandmother made like zucchini bread. Now, my grandmother on my dad's side would sometimes bake bread. Um, and sometimes we'd have like warm bread, and then she would make really good apple butter. I was so spoiled by her apple butter that I have never been able to eat another brand or any other apple butter. And I don't know if her apple butter recipe is somewhere. I hope somebody in the family has it. I should ask. Um, because and I don't know, like she probably adapted it over the years and did her own thing without writing it down. That's what often ends up happening to family recipes, right? You don't know how grandma did it, but she did something different that's not on that card. Um, but her apple butter was amazing, and it's the only apple butter I ever liked. It like a lot of apple butter is super duper sweet, and hers had just a little bit of a kick to it still. Um, it was so good. It was so good. Um, yeah, it ruined me for apple butter. I try other apple butters. Even now, I've tried them here and there, and it's like, this is not how I remember it. This is not real apple butter. Um, Marion says, but your mother worked. Mine didn't, except the beginning of the summer. Yeah, everybody's different. It's good. It's good. Um, yeah, I don't my mom cooked a lot. She was the one that cooked food for us most of the time. And as we got older, we started learning how to cook some things like spaghetti, um, and certain things we could help her with. But she was never a baker that much, but she does make pies now, and cheesecakes. She likes to make cheesecakes every once in a while, and she bakes pumpkin pies mostly, and they're really good. Um, so we did get a pumpkin pie, and that is down in the fridge right now, as long as Andrew didn't finish it last night. Um, I'm hoping there's still pumpkin pie down in the fridge for dessert tonight, after probably some kind of pasta tonight. I forget what I got. I think I got tricolor rigatoni or something like that. Rotini. That's it, I think. Um, Hubby is learning to make the bread. First attempt was yummy, says May. Nice. Yeah, Andrew's been doing more bread products too. I don't know what got him into it, but he's been making his own little yeasty things and letting them rise, and I've been opening the fridge and there's things in there. Um, and he's been doing different kinds of flatbreads, and not a lot of like not no like loaves. He hasn't done any loaf kind of breads, I don't think, but mostly kind of like flatbreads. He's been making crackers. Uh, sorry, it's been sorry everybody. I don't mean to yawn, but it's been a long day. Um, Teresa made shoe fly pie today. You like to cook or bake and or bake. That's awesome. I don't know what that is. I don't exactly know. I've heard of it. I don't actually know what is in shoe fly pie. Um, Suzanne says you should try a king cake. Are they easy to make? Um, or you mean just try one from someone else or try to make one? Um, Marianne says I have made French bread. Nice. Michelle says, I don't know what that is either. Marianne says, mostly sugar. That's probably why I don't know what it is. I don't I don't like desserts that are super duper sweet or very sugary. Um, so things that have like lots of like, molasses or um it's made with molasses, Teresa. Yeah. Um, Things that are sticky and sweet like that, I am not. I'm kind of. I don't eat a lot of that, and I don't know why. I just. It's not. It. It makes me. Suzanne says try to make one. Okay, I'll have to look it up. King cake. Um, I've always I've thought I wanted to be a baker at one point. I thought at one point I wanted to be a cook and then or a chef, and then my mom was like, "No, you are not doing that." She probably knew I did not have the temperament for being a chef in a kitchen because there is a typical kind of temperament that goes with that, as I've experienced from many chefs in many kitchens. Um, and it probably was not my style, but I always liked the idea of being creative with food. I've always liked the idea of being creative. I just never I wasn't naturally gifted at drawing or painting. So I was always trying to find things that I thought I might be able to do. And at first I wanted to be a clothing designer, but then I was like, I can't draw the stuff. And then I see now how clothing designers actually do draw things, and I'm like, sometimes it's just like a sort of inspiration of what they're trying to do. Like, I could have done that. Um, but I don't know if I could have gone to school for that. Because going to school for fashion design, generally, yes, you do have to, kind of draw models and all that good stuff. And that's would have been hard for me. But I think it could have been interesting trying that. And then being a chef, being, kind of creative with food. And I think I have a fairly decent sense of once I taste ingredients and I know um, what things taste like and smell like, I feel like I have a decent sense of like imagining them being together. So like what it would taste like if I put this with this. Um, and that's how I think when I cook. And so I know I'm not always perfect at it, but I do think that I have a fairly okay, like the more I expose myself to different spices and different things like that, I get a kind of good idea of how this might go with this and if it would pair well with that. Um, at least I think so. Anyway, um, Marion says it's kind of like drafting fashion designing. Yeah, kind of. Except I think to go through fashion design school, it would have been a little bit more artistic than I would have had naturally the ability to do. But if I could have done something like just draping things and going right to the fabric, maybe learning patterning, but it was more of the artistic part of it that I was afraid of. It would have been hard. But anyway, I don't know. Um, Teresa says, my nurse loves it, so I made it for a gift. That's nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of people like it. Susie says, I love wet bottom shoe fly pie. Never heard of that either. But yeah, I yeah, but yeah. I know, nah, like Andrew probably would love it. I am not. Just don't do the sweet, 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 sweet stuff. Like for a long time, like cinnamon rolls were too sweet for me. I didn't eat them. Suzanne says it's like a circular cinnamon roll with filling and icing. Nice. Andrew's been making some cinnamon rolls now. It's been a long time. There was a long point in my life I did not eat cinnamon rolls. Um, and now I do, and they're good. So I still don't like them too sweet, but they're pretty good. Um, Michelle says that sounds even more sticky. I know, right? It's okay if things are messy and sticky. It's the sweetness content. Sometimes I just don't do too sweet. I like things that like desserts that have more fruits in them or custards, like tart, like that kind of stuff. Um, I'll take those generally over something super sweet. And I always worry, like, because I do like chocolate cakes and peanut butter things sometimes, but when I'm out at a restaurant, I generally always stay away from ordering any of it because I'm always concerned that it's going to be way too sweet. Um, but I do like a good like chocolate cake and icing and that kind of thing too once in a while. Um, Marion says some Indian desserts are super sweet. Yes, as I found out. Um, we sometimes there's an Indian restaurant halfway to Pittsburgh that we go to, or when we come home, we stop at sometimes, and we've ordered some things, and it's like these are like dough balls in like honey, and that's okay, right? But um, I can eat like a little bit of that, and that's like we went to this Nepalese restaurant. I don't even know if it's still open. We haven't been out that way. It's out eastern Pennsylvania. And they had, I forget the name of it, but it's cheese with saffron, I believe. Cheese, chunks of cheese, like I don't know what kind of cheese they actually use. Um, it's not like a cheddar or anything, but it's cheese with saffron and honey. And it sounded really good, but it is like doused in the honey, like it is floating in honey. It's like, ooh, it's a little bit sweet for me after a little while, even though I love honey. Um, Marianne says, or balls of sugar, right? May says, did you have any unique desserts in Italy? I'm trying to think. Um, Not really. I mean, we had pastries, um, and I wouldn't say there was anything super unique. A lot of pistachio cream filled things, which I really liked, chocolate cream filled things, um, like chocolate croissants, and there was little things called lobsters, and they were kind of like mini croissants almost with a pistachio cream filling. Um, I don't think we had tiramisu, um, but I don't remember having any super different desserts. Sometimes cheese plates, kind of that kind of thing for dessert. But yeah, May says I had tiramisu in Venice and it tasted very similar to ones I've had here. Yeah, the tiramisu. Uh, didn't taste much different than around here. There were some variations of tiramisu that we had tried that were a little bit different. I'm trying to think of the one that we had, um, what the difference was. I can't remember now. Um, anyway, it but it was all kind of fairly normal-ish, and we didn't have anything too crazy for dessert. No. And even the food was a lot of pizzas, a lot of pastas. But the one pasta, we tried recreating it here at home. We did pretty well. Um, but it was a pistachio cream gnocchi. It wasn't quite gnocchi. It was something else. They were like smaller than gnocchi. Um, and it was almost sweet. It was sweet from the pistachios. It was so good. It was so creamy and so rich, and normally I don't like that, but I inhaled that. That we had it 2 days in a row. It was so good. Um, let's see here. Michelle says all that sugar talk is making my levels go up. It's like our body knows we want it, so it jumps. Oh boy, don't do that. May says I love seeing the pasta photos. Yeah, it was good pasta. It was really good stuff. And all the food was good there. Like even the food that was like we would kind of rate the food as we went along, like what we liked best, and we liked this one, especially in the first few days, we were like, oh, this one was better than yesterday, and this one's better. And we just got to the point where it was just like, they're all good. Like, it's hard to say this one is better than that one, or this one is better than that one. Which one did you like better? Because it was all so good. And there was like one place we were like, this is kind of more like the pizza was okay. Like the sauce felt a little bit less fresh than some of the other ones, but the actual pizza dough was like super crisp and thin, and so there was always this give and take. It's like some of the pizzas were like the topping, everything was so fresh and excellent, but then you go to try to eat it and it would just like the dough would just like flop over because it was soaking wet, whereas they had this dough that was like amazingly crisp. So there was always something. Um, and I can't say anything bad about any of the food we had there. It was all really good. Um, we did have an experience, I think it was in Venice, and we tried the pasta there or the pizza there. And when we first got it, we were like, hmm, because we looked at it and we were like, this looks like tourist pizza. Like what they serve to tourists, because we were actually in a fairly touristy area, and we didn't realize the restaurant we went into was like catered to pretty much Americans coming into Venice. Um, so everywhere we looked, once we got inside and sat down and like situated ourselves, there were like Americans everywhere. And that's fine, but that's not the experience we were there for. And before that, for like a week before that, we didn't have any of that. And so we kind of felt a little odd there. And we thought the pizza there was kind of like that way. And then we ate it and it was good. And then we went to another place in Venice and ate pizza, and it was the same kind. So they just had a totally different kind of pizza in that area than when we were like 2 hours south. Um, and that's what we would see sometimes is like different areas of Italy have different things that they specialize in different kinds of pizzas and different ways to make things. Um, and that's the way it was. But everything was good. Everything was really good. So how's everybody else doing? Everybody else have a good celebration if you celebrate? I hope so. Um, let's it's getting about that time. We've chatted for a while. I don't know how many people are out there because it doesn't tell me, but please like and share this. Oh, it looks like we have around 20 people. That's fairly, that's good for really what is a still a holiday season. Um, Marion says, I honestly can't remember what we ate in Venice. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I understand that because it's hard for me to even remember what we ate in the various places unless I go through my photos. Because we were just eating, it was a lot of pizza and a lot of pasta. And which pizza was where, um, that started flying out of my mind. Um, but it was good. It was good. Um, we had pizza there. I can't. We had some gelato um, in Murano, and but it was definitely it was like a chain touristy kind of gelato place, but it was still okay. Um, yeah. Anyway, let's flip the camera around, and enough of seeing my mug here. We will take a look at some stuff. So if you missed it, on Christmas Eve, we did giveaways, lots of giveaways. Um, I think we had 30 lots. Well, we actually had more because Andrew debuted the two or three, I think, three more kinds of ornaments. So if you missed that, I'm not going to go through them all today. I'll show you like one of each. How about that? And if you missed any of those, I have not gotten those into the online store yet. But if you missed any of these ornaments, you can watch the last video we did and you can still claim them that way. It was XME lots and you can take a look at those. So I'll show you one of each so you can see what the kind of the idea is behind the ornaments, but there are different colors and different, each one's hand sculpted for the faces on these. Some of them have hair. So if you missed that, you can check that out. But before that, we did 30 lots of beads, and every two we did a giveaway. So that means I guess there were what, 15 giveaways in 30 lots of things. So 30 lots of goods, 15 giveaways. I think that's how we'll play it again today. So every 2 lots that I try to sell, we'll do a giveaway. Of course, this is the way our giveaways work, right? You have to have something that you've purchased with us. You have to have a package going out. We can't afford to ship giveaways for free. So you have to either order something tonight, if you don't have an order with us already, or have an order waiting that will be shipping out, and we'll include your giveaways with that. Or have an order placed in the online store too. That's another way of doing it. But we can't, unfortunately, we can't afford to ship out giveaways for free. So we would love to be able to do that. Just here's your thing and here's your thing, but we cannot. So if you have an order going out, we'll combine it. And that's how you can grab these tonight. Marianne says, I had gelato in Florence. Says, I was going to say what kind, but I can't remember how to spell it. There's a lot of different gelatos. One of my favorite weird gelato, I will say, I did have a weird gelato, speaking of weird foods, and it was the Italian garden gelato, and it had basil and tomatoes, and it was green, and it tasted like a salad, and it was gelato. And it also had some balsamic, I believe. Balsamic, tomatoes, um, yeah, and basil. And it was so good. Andrew did not like it. He was like, "This is too weird. This is not sweet. This is not what gelato is supposed to be." But I liked it. I liked it a lot. Anyway, let's flip it around and let's take a look at some stuff. If you'd like to purchase from this video, if you're new to us or you haven't bought for a while, you forget how, it's going down here. To purchase from this video, we'll give you a piece of paper. We do it real fancy like with a piece of paper. We'll give you a lot number on that paper. Take down that lot number. Send us that you'd like to purchase in an email. So if you want, let's see, the lot numbers tonight, I'm going to MCD. I don't know. I don't think I've ever used that. So it'll be like this, MCD1, and you'll take down that lot number if you want that item, send it to us in an email. Put it in the subject line of an email, address that email to info@allegorygallery.com. It's up here. It's also scrolling down here. And it's first come, first serve on everything. And that's how you claim. If you want to claim a giveaway, I will ask you questions or tell you what to say in the comments. You claim giveaways in the comments. You claim items in the email. All right? That's how we do it. Michelle says that does sound very odd, right? Norma says, I don't want my gelato to taste like salad. You think that until you try it, and then it's delicious. It was so weird. It was very weird, but I really enjoyed it. I ate the whole thing. I almost went back for another one because it was the only place that I saw that. That was in San Giammano, and I got that there. And it was cold that day. It was the coldest day I think we kind of walked through most towns, and it was overcast, and we got gelato, and that's the one I tried, and it was so good. It was so good. Um, as May says, that is very unique. It was. It was. It had something else I feel like too in it, but it was called the Italian Garden. It was Italian Garden. Um, Marianne says, no, 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 but then I don't like basil. What? How can anyone not like basil? Basil is so good. It's one of my favorite herbs. I love basil. I put basil in so many things that I probably shouldn't put basil in. Thankfully, we don't always have much basil. It was probably refreshing, says Michelle. Yeah, in a weird way. Like, it was just weird, but it was good. It was just unexpected. Anyway, let's flip this around. and see what we've got going on. Um, like I said, I did not prepare anything particularly for this show. So we're going to dig through our bags here like I did before on Wednesday. And we're just gonna have a little bit of fun. My favorite herb is summer savory. Of course it would be, Marianne, something that we don't actually ever probably have here. Of course you'd pick something weird like that. No, I've heard of that. I don't know what summer savory is because I don't think we have that here, or it's not something that we call that here, or it's not something we use much here, or I just don't know what it is. You never see summer savory as a menu item here or listed as a ingredient here. So maybe it has a different name. But I do love basil. Danette says, I'm not a big fan of basil either. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with y'all? No. This is very popular in Newfoundland. See, I can't say one way or the other, Marianne. I can't agree with you or not. Because never had it. Don't get that here. Can't get that in the grocery store. Summer savory. Suzanne says, I like basil, also rosemary. Rosemary, I do like, but I have to in small amounts. I can definitely, if something has too much rosemary in it, it's not great for me. Not great for me. But I do like it. When I was younger, I used to not like it very much. And as I've gotten older, I do like it more. But it's moderation. Moderation is the key for me in rosemary. Now, basil, I kind of load up on basil on things that it's in. um, Michelle says, I'm part Italian, love basil. See, that's good. Maria says, it's great with potatoes, but traditional with beans. Great with potatoes, but traditional with beans. You know what I like with potatoes? Chives. I like chivy potatoes. We used to have chives. My mom planted chives growing up, and we would always go out and cut them, and we'd always have them with the potatoes. And I have not done that. We have chives that grow in our yard. We just mow them down and keep mowing them down. I should pick them and actually use them to cook with. May says basil's great, cilantro not so much. Yeah. Cilantro, we don't even consider that a real food. Cilantro, terrible, terrible. Yeah, I'm not a fan of cilantro or coriander for those of you not here in the US, right? Cilantro, terrible. But then again, I wish I knew what it tasted like. If it didn't taste like soap, because for me it tastes like soap. Chives on potatoes are good too, says Marianne. Suzanne says filet for gumbo. Filet. I don't know what that is. Leona says basil gelato sounds good. It was good. I liked it a lot. Danette says, I've never had cilantro. What? I don't know how that's possible. It's in most salsas. If your salsa doesn't taste like soap to you, then you probably would like cilantro. Some people have a gene that makes cilantro taste like soap because it does have alkaloids or alkalines or whatever they are in it, and so some people detect them more than others. I unfortunately detect them, and so I'm one of those people that definitely it makes everything taste like soap. So a lot of times, most jarred salsas, I have to be careful. Not be careful. I've gotten used to tasting like kind of like soap, but I try to get brands that don't have too much cilantro in them. Um, Marion says, I thought filet was an herb blend. I don't know. Wait, see if Suzanne can answer that. Um, Michelle says a lot of Mexican food has cilantro. Yes, it does. And I have to specifically ask when we go out not to have the cilantro included if at all possible. Okay. Now I told you we're gonna get to this. Let me see. So we're gonna do 2 lots and then we'll do a giveaway, and then 2 lots and then a giveaway. And remember, you do have to have something coming your way to get the giveaways. Um, or you can order from us tonight and partake in the giveaways as well if you don't have anything on the way. But you do have to win it, right? Because these are all first come, first serve. So you definitely have to get something to get those giveaways too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 of these. They were $18. We're going to bring them down to $15 for y'all. We always try and give y'all on the lives the best deals here too. So if you watch often, you will get the best deals and the newest things. We always generally show the newest things on the live first, and then they'll go to our website or our physical store. Marianne says a lot of Filipino food too. Yes. Super, super finely cut cilantro is bearable, says May. It depends how much is in there. It's all quantity, right? These are microfaceted Amazonite beads. Beautiful microfaceted Amazonite. These are approximately 2.5 millimeter beads. Beautiful color in these. Nice microfaceting. And they're sold by the strand. So you're seeing about 9 of them or so here. And I have 2 more here. So there's that's the 11 that are available. And if you want to see what one strand looks like, it's like this. And they're $15 for the strand. If you'd like to purchase that, MCD1, put that in the subject line of an email and send it to us at info@allegorygallery.com. All right. Oh, let's see here. Michelle says, LOL, we all like it. Cilantro, so you don't have that gene in your family, apparently. My mom and I do not like cilantro. It tastes like soap to us both, and not fans of eating soap, surprisingly. Oh, also, let me see here if I can get my email up and running. Oh, our friend Charlie's watching, sending us some emails. Says, I like more well-balanced sweets and French pastries. I won't say no to caramel, but I need salt or something to balance it. But I can't eat most cakes in the US. It's weird line I walk. I love the sweets in Japan. Nice. I've been making barbecue ribs and char siu. I don't know what that is. No baking since my friend gave me lots of cookies. I've been knitting again. Oh, and sent us a beautiful, nice, beautiful, looks like scarf you started knitting. Or is that a sleeve? Can't tell. But I like it. I like it, whatever it is. It's a nice pattern. What have you all been doing creative wise? We're just too busy to be doing much of anything creative wise. Oh, and if you're also new, this number in the bottom corner is how many we have at that price. Hence the 11 of these at $15 each. Suzanne says, I've been told sweets in Japan are excellent. I've heard that too. I've never been to Japan, so I don't know. Michelle is still catching up on sleep. Susan says, I've had some bad genes, but not the ones that make me think it is soap. Yeah, it tastes like soap to me. It's sad because people who love cilantro, like people who like it, I don't know anybody. Okay, so I guess this is the way to say it. If it tastes like soap to people, obviously they don't like it. But I have never known anyone to not like cilantro when it doesn't taste like soap to them. So as long as it doesn't taste like soap, most people seem to love cilantro. Like I wish I knew what it tasted like other than that. These are little copper coin beads, these little brushed coins. And I have 7 strands of these available. They are approximately 8.2, so about 8 millimeter coins. and this is the strand, and I have 7 of those available here. MCD2. Um, let's see. Char siu is so good, says Vicky. I've been craving it all week. May says, yes, a lot is made with red bean paste. Huh. I don't know what those things are, but that's nice. Um, I have had red bean buns, which I really like. They're nice and sweet and good. Andrew kind of introduced me to those because I never tried them before him, and um, he definitely likes those. We used to get them a lot when we lived in New York. Um, and he introduced me to those. All right. Let's find a giveaway now. How about this? Let's see, what do I got here? Let me dig through my stash and see what I can do for a giveaway for you all. Oh, this is a giveaway. This is a nice giveaway. I think it started out good. Oh, Suzanne says a lot of cozy Japanese books have sweets in them. Oh yeah? Nice. Anne says cilantro tastes terrible to me, but not like soap. Just bad. I can't describe it, but it's always interesting that other people say like soap since it's not my experience. You are the first person, Anne, that I know that it doesn't taste like soap, but still says it's bad. Yeah, mine, it's very soapy. Um, Norma says, and it doesn't taste like soap to me, but it does taste metallic. I like it only in small amounts. I could see how it could be slightly metallic too. I could see that. May says, yes, and my sometimes bad experience with cilantro is not soap, but something else. That's interesting. Metallic soap to me, says Mary Ann. There you go. I could see where the metallic idea would come in. I can definitely see that. Here's the first giveaway. The bag's a little bit beat up, but these are all different kinds. I believe mostly all African beads. This is an African bead blend that Andrew put together at one point. These are really nice. He priced them at $12 originally. I shouldn't even give these away because they're really well priced at $12, but we'll start out with a good giveaway today. Let's see. What question can I? It's always hard for me to ask questions because I always forget what I should prepare a list of things. Um, let's just say the first person, this is how I end up defaulting to things. The first person to say African beads in the comments wins this, as long as you have an order coming or you're placing an order tonight. African beads. First comment we see. It's always whatever we see on our side. It may look different to you. And it's Marianne. Marianne got it. Congratulations. I think you have a bag from the other day. I'm going to try and bring those bags back up here, I think. So I think most of the people who were watching the other day are also here today. And so I don't think that person's here today. So I'll put that down here. Okay. So let's see. There's Marianne's giveaway bag from the other day. All right. Now we move on to 2 more lots for sale. And then giveaways. All right. If you're if you're cloud dancing it, you might like these. These are white check glass triangle beads. I have 2 strands available. They're $7 each. MCD3. Beautiful triangles, nice white beads if you're working with Cloud Dancer. 16.5 millimeters approximately by almost 17. And you get the strand of those, $7. I have 2 strands available. One is shown. One is shown. We just sold one of the 2s. Thank you so much. Let's see, what else is next? What else is next? These are fun. These 18. I'm going to bring it down to 12. I've got 2 of them available. My hands are so dry. My hands are all beat up because I was peeling labels off of laser stuff today all day long. And then my hands were all dirty and dried out from the laser dust, the charcoal that it makes when it burns things. So pardon my hands if they look a little crunchy. um, these are just nice little pebble beads in all different kinds of stones. So there's like amethyst, amazonite, carnelian, quartz, just miscellaneous, all on one strand. Nice strand. These are approximately about 8 millimeter beads, and that's MCD4. Going to be $12 each. 2 of them available. Oh, we just sold one of the 4s already. Thank you so much. One of those is gone. We've got 1 left. Oh, and it's time for another giveaway. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. Next up, let's use this as a giveaway. This is a vintage check glass strand. We try and give you giveaways that are nice, that aren't just like, some companies, we give you giveaways that are like really their seconds or their, throwaway things. We try and give you giveaways that are nice. This is a vintage, I think this is actually antique, antique check glass strand. And let's see. How about this? Name the town that we stayed in Italy. Name the town that we had our home base in. We'll say the home base. We stayed in 2 different towns, really, but this town we stayed mostly in Italy. And you can win this. Let's see if anybody remembers. May got it right away. Chair Taldo. Thank you so much, May. That will go in. I don't know if you have a. Did you have a bag before? I didn't see it. It might still be down there, but I will make a new bag for you. Marianne says, and some companies will sell you the floor sweepings. Yeah, I mean, if you know what they are and you agree to it, that's, all right, I guess, right? But when we do bead blends, they are not floor sweepings. I'll just say that. We try not to do that. All right. Let's move on. MCD 5. What I have here to show y'all. Ooh, these are nice. How do I still have what? Wow. Okay. Okay, we had these at 38. I'm going to bring them down to the lowest price we've ever had, $28. Really good deal. And these are beautiful vintage freshwater pearls. Gorgeous color in these. These are white pearls with that beautiful rainbow nacre on them. Nacre, whatever you want to call it. But just, these are like gleaming with color. Taking a whole $10 off. Bring them down to $28 a strand only. There are 2 strands here. I'm showing you each one separately. You can see they're both beautiful. You will get one of these if you order them. MCD5. Oh, let's see here. Charlie says, char siu is marinated Chinese pork, usually dyed red. She also says, I enjoy cilantro. If it tasted like soap, that would be bad. I had a cilantro salad a few months ago and surprisingly liked it. I thought it would be too much. Sweet bean paste is made by soaking and boiling red beans. Then you add sugar and mash it. Says I'm working on a pair of mittens following a Selbu Norwegian pattern. Took me 16 tries to get it right. And MCD4 looks like tasty jelly beans. Don't eat the beads, Charlie. Don't eat the beads. We just sold one of the 5s. Thank you so much. We have only one left. If you're interested in that, send us an email, info@allegorygallery.com. And I'm going to check. One thing I have not done today is check my junk mail. I didn't check my email at all until I got up here for the live. I've been so busy working on the stuff on the laser today. So I'm going to go into my junk mail here and just check it real quick, just to make sure. May says, I didn't know char siu is dyed. See that? Who knew? Except the people who oftentimes make it, right? Suzanne says filet is from sassafras. Huh. Sassafras. I don't know what that would taste like. Sassafras. Michelle says that's something I can't eat. I'm allergic to beans. Oh no. That's terrible. I would not want to be allergic to beans. That's probably where we get most of our protein from these days, being vegetarian. Being allergic to beans would be a no good thing for us. I don't think I knew you were allergic to beans, Michelle. That's terrible. I'm gonna put the Amazonite away. It's still available if anybody wants any. MCD1. You may have mentioned you're allergic to beans before on the live. I feel like I've said that before, that I don't know what I do for protein. Okay, it doesn't look like I have any junk mail here. Let me go back into the inbox. Here we go. Marianne says, now I need to look up Selbu to find where it is. And yet my body can't digest them, says Michelle. Huh. Marianne says, we just call it barbecue pork char siu. Huh. I feel like I've heard of it, but I've not actually had it. I'm going to put these away too, just to make room on the mat here. But they are still available. MCD2, only $10 per string. And then we're going to move these over. And move this over. And move these over. One of these left, one of these left. Both of these are left. MCD6. Let's see. All right. This was 120. bringing it down to 78. Marion says it's very tasty. Marion says Daniel Tiger is joining us, Anne, and just posted some wild comment. Looks like Daniel Tiger was taking over the keyboard for a little while. I wish I had comments. I wish the comments would show up on StreamYard so I could show you all these comments, but I can't. This is a very high quality petersite, and for some people that may seem like a funny thing to say, but petersite can be super beautiful. It can have almost like a chatoyance or a flash to it. And so this is done on sterling silver chain and lobster claw. And you will see if I get it up here, there's the 925 to show that it's a sterling lobster and sterling chain. You can take these apart. You can restring them if you want to. You can then save these for later or just restring them as is. But we sell them as the price of a bead strand, not like a finished jewelry piece. They'd be more expensive if we sold them as a finished jewelry piece. Anne says, LOL, yes, there was a Daniel Tiger incident. That's cute. Daniel, how's he doing? So this is beautiful petersite. And I want you to see that there is some of that chatoyance and flash, like you see in Tiger Eye almost. There's some right there in some of this blue petersite. And this is a really pretty strand. It's $78 for the strand right now. Normally we have it at $120. It came to us as a expensive strand. And we picked it out because we had never seen petersite really be used as a high quality stone and at this kind of quality very often. So we had to grab it. And so if you like it too, it's a special discount right now for y'all. $78. One of those available. MCD6. Marianne says, I really like petersite. Norma says, I like petersite. It's such a pretty stone. Like I think I don't know if it's the name. Some people just don't get it. They don't think it's an expensive stone, but it has beautiful cuts, just like other stones, right? And more beautiful stones than others. And this is one of the higher end, um, one of the more higher end versions of it. Sometimes that's just the way it is, and I love it. Because I love when you get to see stones that most people just don't think of as having a higher end kind of variety. And then you come across things like this. Trying to look for a giveaway now. Let's find something here. It's so earthy, right? It is. Suzanne says some people are already shooting fireworks. That's terrible. That is terrible. All right. This is the next giveaway. This is, I believe, a vintage brass pressing with crystals of a butterfly. And in order to get this, let's see who tells us first their favorite breakfast food. Tell me your favorite breakfast food in the comments, and the first one I see gets it. And that's for anybody on Facebook or YouTube where we're streaming. Norma says eggs. Is that really your favorite, or was that just the shortest word, Norma? But you got it anyway. Whichever way it was, you got it, Norma. Let me see. I think you had a bag before, right? Now, why don't I see your name? They said it may still be down here. Did you play along the other day, Norma? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you didn't get it. I can't remember. Nora says, I have eggs for breakfast every day. I love them. Oh, good. Oh, good. Diane also said eggs. It came up after. Suzanne said cereal. You make a note here with your name. Put it in the bag here. Marianne said French toast. I would have to say probably French toast is one of my favorites, although I rarely have it. I do love eggs. I have to say, I agree. I love me some eggs. I love cereal too. I just don't. We talked about that. I don't have it very often because I forget to stock cereal. Let's see. What's next? Um, where is I had some stuff that I'm looking for that I thought I put in here, and I'm not seeing. It's throwing me off a little bit. Let's do these. These are nice. Trying to give you all, um, you know, prices that are all over so that there's a little bit of something for everybody. If you want something higher end, you can get something higher end. Want something just as like these are $6. Beautiful foil glass in this beautiful purple. You get the little spacers in between, and you get the kind of lentil shapes. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the strand, looks like. Got 2 strands of this available. These are about 14 millimeters, and the small rounds are about 6.5. That's a really pretty color purple. My guess is this is probably Indian foil glass. This is not Venetian, not at that price, but still really nice. 2 strands available, MCD 7. Marianne says, I would eat more crepes, but not the easiest thing to make well. No, I at one point growing up, I used to make crepes and I didn't know what I was doing. But looking back on it, I think I did it pretty well, actually. Because I've had crepes since, and I was like, oh, it was supposed to turn out like that. I thought I wasn't doing it right. And then I was like, oh, I am doing it right. All right. We sold one of the 7s. Oh, we sold both of the 7s. Let me put those away so they don't tease anybody else. Thank you so much. Those are gone. And we have MCD 8, $16. This is a large strand of vintage check. This kind of holographic strand. This is a really big strand for $16. We really made this a good price, y'all. Big strand of the vintage check. That holographic design. Very colorful, very fun. About 12 by 14 millimeters on those. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24 beads on the strand. That's a big strand. 1 strand available, MCD 8. I'm going to put MCD 3 away. It's still available, but nobody grabbed any of those. Nobody's ready for the white cloud dancer, not in a triangle. That's all right. Can't win them all. MCD 3. We still have one MCD4 available. One of those have sold. I'm going to put that away to make room. Thank you, thank you. And I'm going to move these down and keep these out a little bit. MCD5, we still have one of those available. MCD6 is still available. And MCD8 currently is still available. All right, what's the next giveaway? What kind of giveaways y'all want? I can try and tailor the giveaways a little bit for you all. Do you have any questions or there's something you want in specifically? Let's see. Let's do. May says, I was tempted to buy packaged crepes, but stopped myself. Why? Because they're you don't like them as much, or you just don't want to make more dessert thing. I guess it doesn't have to be dessert. You can make savory crepes, right? Okay. These are S-word crystal Rivolis in crystal clear. I think they're 14 millimeter. Yeah, 14 millimeter. And this is the giveaway. S-word crystal Rivolis. And how about this? Name one of the towns that we went to other than Venice during our time in Italy. Other than Venice and other than Certaldo, where we stayed, name one of the towns we traveled to while we were in Italy. May says, I'm not sure of the quality. That makes sense. And Danette got Florence, and that is correct. You get it, Danette. Good job. Paying attention. Now, I know you have a bag here too. Here we go. Okay. MCD9. Let's see here. How many of these? 2, 4, 6. I have 6 of these. I'll do this at $4 only. These are a vintage Czech glass, but they're in a very odd shape. Oh, one moment. My screen changed colors. These are kind of like a saucer shape. Clear vintage Czech. 2, 4, 6 beads, $4 for the lot. Really cool shape. Not a shape we see very often. So that's MCD 9. Da, 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 da. Okay. This is cool. What did we have on this? $9 on that. This is MCD 10. It's a vintage crystal. Looks like these to me look like headlamps from a British sports car. That's what my mom's TR6 headlamps look like. But this is vintage crystal. They've been put together so that they are kind of this tri-set of crystals put together. Super cool, I think. And they're tied together somehow. You can kind of see in here. They're locked in there together. And probably could be taken apart if you didn't want to use them. I think they're cool to be used like this. But if you didn't want to be, you could probably cut them apart. And I think each one has a hole in there too. So it just depends how you want to use it. But $9 MCD 10. All right, let's see here. And that's an even number. That means another giveaway. Nobody said what kind of giveaways they want. I guess you're just good with me checking. I'm gonna go over here to the other side of the room and see if I've got some other interesting things that we could do. Here we go. I thought I had some lamp work. And I always like to do a little bit of lamp work for our giveaways too, because I know some people like the lamp work. Let me see if I have anything in here. It's giveawayable. Hey, Anna. We missed you too. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you here. All right. How about this? This little lamp work teddy bear bead, large hole, lamp work, glass. That's our giveaway, our next giveaway. And let's see, what is the question going to be? Oh, this is always the hardest part of things. I talked about earlier in the show that my niece was reading a series of books. What is the series of books that she's reading? And you win this. First person to say it in the comments. Anna says, usually I find the live is over when I get home. Oh my goodness. What time you get home? And Norma got that one. Goosebumps. You are correct, Norma. Thank you so much. Norma knows on the giveaway days, you got to pay attention to what's what I say on the live. The questions often come from what I've talked about. Let's see. Suzanne also came in real quick with it. Let's see here. Let's give here. I have this one, Suzanne. I'll give you this one. How's that? It's a little, I don't know. Is it a walrus? Is it I don't know what it is, but it's a cute little thing. I'll throw that in for you. Since you came up real quick too. And I don't think you got to be in with our giveaway fun. You were away on Christmas Eve. I knew you would be. You said you would be, but we missed you. Norma says, "Yay, lamp work." I know, right? I know you like lamp work. Okay, let's see. What's next? MCD11. How about this? We had 32. I'll do 20. Oh, I can't think. 28, 26. Let's do 27. I'll do 27 on this. You know, this is hard. This is a lamp work bead. MCD11. Beautiful bead. Really probably should be much more than that. I don't know the provenance of it though. It was something we acquired quite a while ago. It's probably vintage at this point. $32 down to $27 for that bead. I love these little pink details with the blue. I think this is such a cool bead. And then it uses kind of this silvery glass, like this silvery molten glass. It's just so fun. Love it, love it, love it. 32 millimeters by about 30 and a half. And it has just sold. Thank you so much. You may have gotten a very good deal on that because I didn't, I don't know that I should have taken it down that far. 32 is probably the old sell price, actually. That's all right. It's going to a good home. I don't mind. MCD. Just don't tell Andrew, right? It's our secret. All right. Let's see what else I have. Let's do maybe another lamp work lot here if I've got something nice. Okay. This one I've tried before. I'm gonna give us the lowest price I can on this. This is one of my very favorite lampwork glass beads. Diane says MCD reminds me of a spaceship. Which one? This one? This one? Or these ones? These little saucers. They both kind of like a spaceship, right? Both kind of like a spaceship. I think these are supposed to be taken apart, to be honest, but I'm not 100% sure. They're wired up like that maybe they meant them to be used like this, but they do have holes each, so you could take them apart. Anyway, this lampwork bead, and I should know the maker of this. But Anna says, what's tonight's theme? Marion said random. Yeah, tonight's theme is giveaways mostly. I'm mostly selling things to get to the giveaways, trying to give you good giveaways, but it is random. I'm just pulling stuff. I have a bunch of bags here that I gathered up in the office of various things, and I'm randomly going through them. Oh, the one that is sold. The lamp work. Yes, I could see that. I could see it being a spaceship. I could see this coming down from it and being like shining lights out of the spaceship. Anyway, okay. The name of this, I think, is it Karen Leonardo? Anyway, this is the bead. It is one of my favorite. We had this in a bead show that we hosted. We have shows every once in a while called the Art of the Bead. And each Art of the Bead show that we have deals with a different kind of bead. We've had a glass bead show that was Art of the Bead, and we've also had a lamp work or I mean a polymer clay art of the bead show. And this is one of the ones. Look at the butterfly. Look at that cane work to create those butterflies inside of that other bead. This looks like springtime, like tall grasses to me in a spring field. It, in a blue sky. I just love this bead so much. It's $48. It was 58. You can see that's the original price. That's how much it was in our bead show. We loved it so much, we bought it. Um, and every once in a while we go through our collection and determine which things we can part with, and we've decided to part with this if it'll sell. If not, it'll go back into our collection. This is about 37.5 millimeters by 29.5 millimeters. This is one that I specifically wanted, and I haven't used it yet. So if anybody else wants it, this is the chance to grab this MCD 12 for a really good price, $10 off. That's what, almost 20%, not quite 20% off that bead, but very close, 58 down to 48. MCD 12. All right, I'm gonna put MCD 5 away. So those pearls, there's still one strand of those left if anybody's interested. And let's go back here, get this in the right order. Nope, that's over here. The bag, this is over here. Peter site, I'm going to put the Peter site away. MCD 6 still available. Let's see here. We've just sold 10, so I'm going to put that away. That's this little one. Thank you so much. All right, let's move these down. MCD 8 still here. MCD 9 still here. MCD 12 still available. Giveaway time. All right. Um, how about this? This oddly shapen fruit-like ceramic with a gold glaze. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's gonna want this, but it's the giveaway that's coming up. It's a nice pendant. It'd go nice with some amethyst, fluorite. Be really pretty. Just a little bit odd, right? I think it's fun. Let's see. What will the question be? What will the question be? I don't know. Let's just say the first person to name their favorite fruit gets it. Name your favorite fruit. Marianne says a bumpy um, eggplant. Anna says that's wild. Anybody? Name your favorite fruit. Maybe nobody wants this. No, nobody. Can't even give it away. What? I think it's cool. Okay. All right. Going once, going twice. I'll put it away if nobody wants it. And no comments. Nobody wants it. Oh, Danette grabbed it. Blueberries. It's good enough for me. Good enough for me. Danette gets that. That's a nice pendant. It normally retails for $8. That's an $8 giveaway. I think that's a good deal. All right. All righty. Let's see here. MCD 13. Ooh. Let's give you just a dang good price on this. How about that? These were 60. I'm going to bring them down to 40. I've only got one strand left. These are beautiful labradorite, high quality drops. Bringing it all the way down to $40 for the strand. Excellent quality, high-end stones. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 stones. Lucky number 13. It's 108 carats. And that's MCD 13. $40 only for that strand, down from 60. Great deal on those. One strand available only. Oh, and the size of the drops are about 18.5 by 11.5 millimeters. MCD 13. And says great price on 13. Trying to give you some really good prices here at the end of the year. Just having a little bit of fun. MCD 14. And it says that's a great deal for sure, right? Yeah, because 60 is a low price for those, for the quality of those stones, to be honest. It's starting out low. Normally in the online store, I think they go for $78 or so, something like that. So there you go. Let's see here. MCD 14. What should I do for y'all? Okay, this is the one I can always never pronounce. Let's see here. This is, I want to make sure I get this right. Okay. Savorite. I don't know why I always want to say something different. Savorite garnet. Normally, let's see here. Savorite garnets. And these are often fairly expensive. This is a $150 strand. Let me see what I can do. Really, that's a low price. Let me check something here. Check my costing. If my iPad would work. Here we go. Hey, Vicky. Good to see you here. Thanks for being here. This is a really high-end strand of Savorite garnets. And I shouldn't even discount them because it's 51 carats. Wow. I'm seeing 40. I'm just checking online too. I like to do this once in a while. 45 carats, $450 in about the same quality. $420, $380. Those are not the same quality. They're a darker color, which is not as nice. $200 is the cheapest I'm seeing them at that quality. I will bring them down to 118. And if they don't sell, they will probably never be even at $150 again. Sarverite garnets, beautiful bright green, faceted stones. Just take a look at some of the prices of these in this quality of stone, and you will see that we are giving you a really, really good deal. These are done on sterling again. Obviously, that's 51 carats. Obviously, we're not charging you as if it was a necklace already because I could tell, like, the prices I'm seeing are just for bead strands, let alone necklaces. And this is such a pretty green. Yeah, this color green in the Sarverite garnets, at this quality, look at the clarity of the stones. Look how nice they are. When you compare that online, I'm not seeing anything under about $300 for that same kind of quality. And these ones are approximately 3 millimeter beads. So MCD 14, $118 for now. I will do it for now. It looks like that's one that if I end up putting it in the online store, it is going to be even more than the 150 price point that we tried to do for y'all before. So prices have gone way up on those, it looks like. All right, let me get back here to my email. 14 has sold. Somebody got an excelente deal on those. And because I know who it's going to, I'm glad you got a good deal. Thank you so much. I know you'll make good use of those. All right, so that was an even number. Sorry that took a while to get that one down, but that was a lot of, that really surprised me how much that stone has gone up in value. Um, but we always try to work with our costs. We don't try to rip anyone off. So I knew what our cost was and what we could possibly do that for. Let's see. Marianne says, congratulations to the buyer. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right, this is a vintage glass bead strand. This is the giveaway. And let's see if anybody remembers. I mentioned that I was watching a particular television series the other day that has both an American and a UK version. What was the television series that I was watching? That might be a hard one. Some people might get it right away because we were definitely talking a good bit about it. I did watch the rest of the series finally too. I finished it. All right. The first person that I see had that is Susan. Susan Siegel got it. Thank you so much. Ghosts. And do I have a bag for you here? Yes, I do. I thought I did. Diane says, glad someone bought the Savarite, so I didn't have to. I know that one. That was truly, if you had the ability, that was one that was too good to pass up, I think. That's one that sometimes you're like, do I have it? I should. I know who it went to. It went to, all of y'all. If it would have went to anybody, I would have been fine. But that's one of those like, ooh, is that a seller's remorse? Should I have just hung on to that? No, it's all right. It's all right. We give good deals when we can, and we're happy to be able to do it. And we're happy when people find things that they like and they take them home and they make things with them. It makes us happy. That's what we're here to do, sell the stuff, right? That's our job, literally. Oh, this is nice. I'm going to bring this down to $14. MCD 15. I believe, let me look. This is a cabochon. Beautiful glass cabochon. Or if you did a glue-on bail, you could turn it into a pendant, or you could seed bead around it. And I think it's dichroic. I'm pretty sure this is dichroic glass. And it's really pretty. MCD 15 was $16. Bring it down to $14 for y'all. It's so pretty. I'm like bewitched. I don't even remember this. All right. So that's that. Let me give you the dimensions on this. It is about 38.5 by 41. MCD 15. All right. I'm going to put MCD 8 away. That's this one. It is still available. Nobody has grabbed that yet. And I'm going to put MCD 9 away. Let's see. Let me get a bag out here. May's got to go, getting some dinner. Have a great live. Enjoy the weekend, all. You too, May. Thank you so much. MCD9, still available, but being put away. And we'll move 12 over. This is this lampwork glass bead, still available. MCD 13, the labradorite, still available. And 15, lampwork glass, dichroic glass, cabochon / pendant, still available. Diane says, yes, there is dichroic in the bead. Yeah, you can see that, right? The flashy, shiny, beautiful. Okay. MCD 16. Oh boy, oh boy. What does everybody want? This is a really cute bead. It's a little lovebird lampwork glass. It was 40. I'll bring it down to 36. This little lovebird bead. with the silver bell. It's got the hearts in the back. Beautiful lamp work, glass. Gorgeous work. That little outlining in the black, and then the color, and then the layers. Really excellent work on that. That's MCD 16. Know anyone getting married or anybody who has an anniversary? This might be a great gift if you make something with that as the pendant, right? Or just some people in love that you know that you want to get them a nice little gift. MCD 16. Use that to make a little necklace or something. All right. Let's see. That means even number means we do a giveaway. All right. This is one of these wild pieces that we have that I don't know where it came from. I don't know if anybody wants it, but I'm gonna do it as a giveaway. We had it listed. We did it for like $5 before. We had it listed at like $5. Here it is. It's this. It looks like a giant bottle cap. And then this is affixed on with, I think, a glue. It's starting to come up. It's vintage. This is old. But it has this nice chain. If nothing else, it's a good giveaway, and you can take the chain and use the chain, right? Or you could rip this off and use this bottle cap thing for something else. I think it's actually pretty cool. I'm not crazy about the flowers on there, but I'd rip that off and use that for something else. It could be quite cool. Let me know in the comments what your favorite soda is, if you have a favorite soda. If not, your favorite drink. So we don't take anyone out, but favorite soda or favorite drink. First person in the comments can have that. And Norma got it with Pepsi. Marianne was very close with another Pepsi. Diane was very close with Mountain Dew. I have to say, my favorite soda is probably also Mountain Dew. I don't drink it anymore. They do have a caffeine-free variety. And so that it tempts me sometimes. And I used to drink the sugar, not the hold on. I'm trying to do two things at once and find Norma's bag and put this in. Can't do two things at once, talk and look at stuff. But yeah, I used to drink the made with sugar Mountain Dew, and I like that a lot. I was like so addicted to Mountain Dew. I guess addicted is the correct word, that I would wake up craving it. Like in the morning, I would wake up wanting a Mountain Dew. And there are still mornings when I do that. And every once in a while, I will go get a pack of Mountain Dew that is caffeine free if I can find it. It's not easy to find, and I won't order it online. I don't want to like start that up, but I do sometimes still grab a Mountain Dew every once in a great while. Anne says, I find soda very harsh. It is. Like once you get out of drinking it, we grew up drinking it. I was talking about this with my family. Hold on, MCD 17. I was talking about this with my family yesterday. Like we were talking about like we didn't know growing up that you were supposed to drink more water. Like it wasn't a thing that like even my sister-in-law, she was like, yeah, in class, like in elementary school, They didn't let you, they took you out like once a day to line up at the fountain to get a drink of water. Otherwise, they didn't really want you going to the bathroom. So they weren't really giving you opportunity to have a lot of water. And growing up, my brother and I drank a lot of soda. And um and he has recently had issues with blood clots and things because he doesn't drink enough. And I had heart issues, I think partially because wasn't drinking enough. And so we were just talking about that, how we grew up on it and we really didn't know any better, right? And now we do. And we don't drink a lot of soda anymore. And now when I do drink it, if I do drink, which is rare because I have to find a caffeine free one generally, um, I will have a little bit, and it can be harsh, right? Now, I think, sorry, I have to look this one up because um, I think I know the stone, but there are two, and now I'm forgetting. I just had the other one in my head, and I looked up this one because I was like, I had the other one. Mhm. Da, da, da. Come on. That's not it. I have Stitch Tight in my brain. It's this, I think this is Sujolite. I think that's what it is. When you type in Sujolite, an Apple support comes up. And did it again. Wow. Yeah. Okay, Sujolite. Boy, I had Stitch Tight and I was like, that's not the right one. Okay, we had this at 24. Sorry for that delay. It's this strand here. Love that. Little coins. And these are approximately 8 millimeter. 8 millimeter. It's one of our vintage strands. One strand available. $20. Sujolite. MCD 17. But yeah, um, Marianne says we only rarely had soda growing up. And Norma says we weren't allowed to drink soda growing up except ginger ale when we were sick. Yeah, ginger ale was the big thing when you got sick, right? That's what we did too. You got ginger ale to calm the stomach. Um, Susan says, I don't drink soda, never really did. Marianne says it's one of the reasons I like Italian soda, not as harsh. Yeah, we grew up, and like I said, I was talking to my sister-in-law about this. We grew up, this just sold, thank you so much. Having soda, like we had 2 liters of soda always had 2 liters of soda in the fridge. And that's just what we drank all day long, like all day, every day, drinking the soda. Um, and it's not good for you, but Um, now I mostly drink water, juice water. Make my juice water. And I'm happy with that, and I like it. Okay. This was 32. Gonna bring it down to 24. Diane Hockey Bead. Diane Hockey Bead. It's one of her creatures. Love this. Was 32, now 24. Pendant by Diane Hockey in ceramic. MCD 18. Marion says, making me thirsty, so just had a little water. Yeah, I need some water. I have it sitting at the side of my desk. In between this next one and the next giveaway, I'll be drinking some water. I'm making my own self. I can feel my lips feeling dry. And this Diane Hockey pendant is about 28 millimeters by 54 and a half. One of those available. Look at that creature. Kind of woodland. I love this bead. It would go really cool with some bone or some wooden beads. Super cool creature. I love Diane Hockey's work. Love, 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 love. Anna says, that's a fantastic Diane piece, isn't it? Super cool. Norma says, I don't have soda in the house, but when I eat out, I tend to get way too many refills on my Pepsi or Coke. Yeah, when I go out at a restaurant, oftentimes I will have a Sprite because it's a caffeine free, and I kind of like that's my splurge. So I end up with a Sprite, and if it's like dinner time, because that's what a lot of restaurants have. And I don't like to drink water outside. Like it's weird. I don't like tap water. That's why I mix mine with juice. Um, and so when I'm at a restaurant, and to avoid all of that, sometimes I'll ask for water and a lemon, but most of the time I'll just get a Sprite or something. And then I do usually have a refill, and that's way too much sugar, but you know. Diane says, I used to drink Fresca before they took the cyclamates out. They changed sweetener and it was terrible. Oh, I hate when they mess with stuff, right? Marion says 18 reminds me of the CERN giant crossed with Cernunos. Cernunos? I don't know all those things. But that's cool. I'm sure Andrew would know those if he were here. I think it's cool. I love Diane's. I love her, just her whole body of work, her whole spirit. Super cool. All right. I'm going to put this one away. Karen Leonardo, MCD 12, $48 for that bead instead of 58. And I'm going to put the labradorite away, the beautiful, beautiful labradorite, $40 instead of 60. Oh, Kimberly joined. So everyone totally late but made it. Glad you can make it. What you up to today? How's it going? And Diane, back to your sweetener thing. I am very picky with sweeteners. Aspartame makes me sick to my stomach. It does the same thing to my mom. We both get nauseous if we drink too much aspartame. So I have to be very careful with what's in things. These are all artisan beads we have up here right now. All artisan beads available for sale. Variances. Carunos, Celtic horned god. The Cern giant has a rather large appendage. Oh, oh, all right. Oh, wait, that was an even number. That's time for a giveaway. Alrighty. Let's see here. Let me find something. It says, haven't been feeling good today. Had prime rib for dinner last night, and it is just too rich for me. Oh boy, that's no good. That's no good. Although prime rib, I don't know if I ever had a prime rib that was too rich because I love me some prime rib. Uh, but yeah, I'm sorry you're not feeling good. I hope you start to feel better. It's never good to feel. It's never good to feel bad from our food, right? That's the last thing you want to feel bad about. Is delicious food. Diane says I don't do any artificial sweeteners now. Yeah, I try not to. Um, I mean, of course, things still have high fructose corn syrup, and I guess that's not too artificial. It's not great, but I do still have that in some of my stuff, but I try to avoid that as much as possible too. This is the next giveaway. Vintage check glass drops slash leaves in this beautiful green color. How about the question? Let's see. Let's see if anybody. So, my favorite YA book. Some of you may know this anyway because I've talked about it before, but my favorite YA book was shown a lot in this season's Stranger Things. In this most recent season of Stranger Things. What is my favorite YA book? And then you get this. If you're watching Stranger Things, it's going to be probably pretty obvious. Kimberly says, all the fat, it just upsets my tummy. Yeah, I could see that. Marion says, prime rib can be very rich, which is why it tastes good. I only eat it once a year. Yeah. Kimberly says, Twilight? No. Twilight wasn't. Stranger Things is based in the 80s. It has to be a book that was published back in the 80s, right? Michelle doesn't watch it. See, anybody watching it? Anybody watching Stranger Things? They're talking about it a lot. And they're talking about it a lot. All the kids are reading it. They're talking about it. Kimberly doesn't watch Stranger Things. What? We just watched the next they debuted, I think, Christmas night. And so we just binged the next few episodes. And then the next one is not until December 31st. They're like spacing out this season. They had a bunch up until about a few weeks ago, and then you took a pause until Christmas, and now we're taking a pause until December 31st. Susan got it. A Wrinkle in Time. A Wrinkle in Time. That's it. That's yours, Susan. Thank you. I love A Wrinkle in Time. I worked at a children's bookstore in New York City, and the owner of that bookstore was fortunate enough to meet Madeline L'Engle um, at one point in his life when he was younger. And I always thought that was kind of amazing. I would have loved to meet her. Susan says, "Thank you, AI." Right? Somebody, you got to get these in any way you can. There are no rules to these giveaways. There are no rules to these giveaways. Oh, we just sold 6. That's the Peter site. Thank you so much. Oh, we appreciate that so much. So the Peter site has sold out tonight. What else can I do for y'all? This is one I didn't even know we had any of these. We had these at 24. Let's drop them to 2020. Let's drop them to 20. And I think, let me see how many there are in here. Kimberly says, "Oh, my son hates that book, but I think it's just because his 6th grade teacher made him read it." Yeah, that's about, I don't know, when I read that. I loved it. I fell in love with that book. I think I also liked my teacher. Um, and I think it was one of the books we kind of read in class together. And I just really fell in love with the book. And I love the ideas in the book. And but at one point in time I had, I don't know, it was like is it a quintuple? I think there are at least 4 books to that series. I think there are 5. I think it's a quintuple. Um, and I had 3 of them, I think, and I've never read fully through any of the other ones in that series, and I really need to. Maybe that's what I'll do next. Maybe I'll just read those. Norma says there are 5. That's what I thought. This is Herkimer Diamonds. But these, I will say, these are Herkimer diamonds from Pakistan, not from Herkimer. It's the same stone. So they still call them, sometimes I think they call them Pakamers. But it's a Herkimer diamond. It's the double pointed, right? Quartz. They grow like that. But they are found generally in Herkimer, New York, and in Pakistan. Those are 2 places in the world where you find these growing naturally like that. And so these are from Pakistan. I like to be upfront about it because they're the same stone. It doesn't really matter unless you really have a connection to Herkimer, New York for some reason. But these are generally about 3 millimeter beads. And we have 3 strands available, $20 a strand. I didn't even know we still had these. That was deep in a bag. Oh, we just sold 18. That's Diane Hockey piece. Thank you so much. I'm glad somebody grabbed that. Kimberly says, I like the drill way on these. Yeah, they're drilled lengthwise. A lot of times they'll be drilled like through, but like, like through the middle this way. But these are drilled lengthwise, which is fun to use them in that way too. So Perkamer, right? Yeah, they're Packamer. I think they call them Packamer. Um, Michelle says, my mom bought me that book. Nice. Norma says, you need to read the rest. Have you read the one about the twins, Many Waters? It was different and interesting. I started Many Waters, but I did not finish it either. I start a lot of books. I don't finish a lot of books. Um, Even when I was young, I did the same thing. It's not like that's a new phenomenon to me. So yeah, I had started Many Waters, but I never finished it. So I really need to. I want to read. I used to read A Wrinkle in Time. Like every so many years, I would read it again just to make sure, like, do I still really like it? And every time I still really like it. And I remember things that I forgot in it. Like you think you remember the story and then read it again. And you're like, oh, I forgot about that. So I do need to read the rest of the series. So maybe I'll read A Wrinkle in Time and again and get into it again and then, you know, move on to something else, right? Okay. Um, these were 62. I'll bring them down to 52. Norma says I read the whole set again every couple of years also. That's cool. All right, this is a green appetite. Green appetite. Beautiful stones. They are graduated. So they go from about 3.5 millimeters up to about 6.5 millimeters. One strand available again on the sterling silver. 925. And it's a 16-inch strand. These are always 16, at least 16-inch strands without the silver. So just the bead strand. Was 52, bringing it down to, or I'm sorry, was 62, bringing it down to 52. MCD 20. Green Appetite. Really pretty color. These are really pretty. It's almost, Appetite often has the blue Appetite. Some of these almost have like a blue hue as they turn into that green color. Some are really bright green. But very nice stones. A lot of pretty good clarity on them. Higher end stones. Juicy looking. And it's a full 122 carats is what it's marked. 122 carats. Am I still on Facebook, everybody? My Facebook feed on my side just ended. So am I still out there for you all? Let me know if I can still see. You can hear me, I can see your comments maybe, hopefully. Technology these days is a little bit interesting. A little bit interesting. It just said my live video has ended and it said it'll be available to watch shortly. And then it put a picture of somebody who's not even us up on the screen. So I don't know what that's about. But it is giveaway time. So I'm hoping I'm still live out there for y'all. So I can do a giveaway. Let me know if you're on Facebook and can still hear me. I don't know if I'll see comments there. Let me jump out of here. There's Andrew says, yeah, it's still going. Diane says I'm still here. Good. I just refreshed it and it came back. So that's good too. It's so weird. Thank you, Kimberly, for checking too. These are awesome. So I'm going to give one of these away. This is a pyrite. This is vintage pyrite, corner drilled squares. Sorry, big, lovely pyrite. And normally we do these for about $6 a piece. So that's a nice giveaway, I think. Yeah, really beautiful. How about for this giveaway? Oh, Andrew said just popped on. Nice. Hello, Andrew. How are you? I didn't know you were awake yet. Oops. What can I? That's just name your favorite gemstone. I'm making this easy. Name your favorite gemstone, and this is yours. First person to do it in the comments that we see, and it's for you. Keeping an eye on comments. Ooh, everybody's trying for that. First person I see is Norma with tourmaline. That's a good one, Norma. That's a good one. Andrew says, I'm not fully awake. Yeah, I bet you're not. You barely got any sleep. Okay. MCD21. Let's see here. Marianne says it's Andrew's checking in on you. No. He knows. He knows what I'm doing. Actually, he probably doesn't know what I'm doing because he went to bed when I started the live. We had this at 26. I'm going to bring it down to 22. Marianne's starting to yawn. Well, don't do it. I started to yawn before this whole thing started, so I don't know what. I don't know. You're behind, Marianne. You're behind. This is a beautiful turquoise pendant drilled lengthwise across the top. Beautiful turquoise pendant. Was 26, now $22. Excuse me. 38 millimeters by 50 millimeters. Really pretty. One available. Look at the color. Stunning pendant. One available. MCD 21. You take this. This need a bag. Susan says, I have two sleeping cats next to me. Yeah, I sat down for a few moments today, in between doing some of the laser stuff for Andrew. And I was just sitting down I think it was when I was eating. I had a little bite to eat. And I had three cats just pile up on top of me. Well, Gilbert kind of piled on top of me. He like lays next to you, but kind of on you, like a little bit on your leg, but not quite fully on. Like he's not committing the whole way. And then Idabelle came up and they had a little growling session because she usually chases Gilbert around sometimes, but she came up and they settled down, they laid together, and then Barnaby came up and sat on my lap. And then of course, like I was only gonna be there for like 10 minutes and then I had to get up. So I felt bad. I had to wake them all up, move them all around. But yeah, they were cuddly today. Marianne says, yes, but I do wake up between 4:30 and 5 a.m. I'm not sure what day of the week it is. I bet. I bet. Um, yeah, I'm yawning and I don't wake up at 4:30 or 5. I did go to bed at 4:30 a.m. last night. Um, that I did do. Let's see here. I thought I pulled something and now I can't find what I did with it. Let's do these. We haven't had one of these. We haven't shown this in a while. We had this at 42, but I'm going to do better than that for you. Michelle says, Marianne, you wake up when I go to sleep, right? MCD 22. Andrew says, that's nice. You're popular. Yeah, I was telling them you were trying to sleep with the cats, but they kept jumping up and scratching on doors and wanting out and wanting in and wanting out and wanting in, making you a little bit crazy. Norma says, Waldo is snuggling next to me on the couch. The other two are on the back of the couch in the back of the recliner. Nice. Marion says, always been a lark, not an owl. This is Oahe Blue Opal. Oahe Blue Opal. These are lovely hand cut drops. And I love this Oahe Blue Opal. It's vertically done, or kind of vertically done, where you're seeing the blue, you're also seeing this kind of clear portion of it on almost every one of these gets a little bit of that along with the blue opal part. And I think it makes them really unique, really beautiful beads. 99 carats worth. Although, oh no, I guess so. I guess so. I love these. They are slightly graduated too. So lengthwise, 15 and a half to the longest one, 21 and a half. Hawaii blue opal, hand cut beads or hand carved beads. Kimberly says almost need a pet door on the bedroom door. Yeah, we could just leave the door open, but then we don't really want them running in and out all night. I don't know. It's a tough decision to what to do with those cats. Andrew said, did people talk about what they did for Christmas? Some people did. Some people talked a little bit about what they did. Go ahead, say again, everybody. Let Andrew know what you did for Christmas or the holidays. Most people did some things with family we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Oh, we sold 21. I missed that. Thank you so much. That one is now sold. That's the turquoise pendant. Take that away. Andrew said, I originally didn't want them in the bedroom. Yeah, we were originally trying to keep them completely out of the bedroom, but that has now changed. May as well sleep with. Well, we keep a heater in the bedroom so it stays a little warmer than the rest of the house. So that's why we don't really want to leave the door open per se. Marion says, my door is always open, but my kids generally sleep through the night. Nice. Michelle watched a bunch of movies and cooking shows. Nice. Okay, it's a giveaway time. It's a giveaway time. All right, what am I giving away now? More nice stuff. Hopefully y'all think it's nice. Been some weird stuff here and there, right? Here and there. How about these? This is called lemon chalcedony. Lemon chalcedony, little drops. You get 4 of them for this giveaway. How about this? What's a good question? Oh, how about this? Earlier in the show, I said that I was using a particular tool to help Andrew today. What is that tool that I was using? Tool, machine. What was I using here this afternoon to help Andrew make some things? First person to tell it in the comments wins these. We sell these for like $2.50 a piece normally. So that's like $10 worth of stones. Kimberly says, we hung out, just us in the morning and afternoon, and spent the evening at my dad's for roast beast, as he calls Christmas prime rib. Nice. Michelle says, I did talk to my sister. So that was really nice. Marion says, I watched a number of restaurant review videos from expensive British ones. Nice. Marianne says the laser cutter. Yes, the laser. I did use the laser. So Marianne, those are yours. Michelle said cricket. No, not quite. Didn't use that today. Use the laser. So Marianne, those are for you. Oh, Anne came in with the laser too. If I had more of those, I'd give you some, Anne. But those are out. I'm out of those now. Okay. Let's see here. MCD 23. What do I have now? Let's see. We had these at 8. Bring it down to 6. These are glass beads. I think these are Indonesian. I could be wrong. Andrew can maybe tell me if he's still watching. I think they're Indonesian glass. And these are MCD 23. Was $8 for the strand, now 6. Oops. I hit my phone. These are about I'll say 11 millimeters by 22. By 22. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 beads on the strand. MCD 23. Those are really bright blue. That's kind of wild. They really glow. I like those. MCD 23. Michelle says that was Andrew that was talking about the cricket. Oh yes, our currently our very expensive heavy paperweight. Yeah, he was trying to get some tips on how we can maybe use that a little more. Anna went to her father and stepmother's house. My 2 half sisters and their families were there too. Fun to see everyone, as it's been over a year since we have all gathered. Wow. That's good. It's good you got to see everybody. Andrew says, yeah, the room we're sleeping in now is supposed to be a cat-free room. I love my cats, but I don't sleep very much. I moved to the other room to get sleep, not be woken up, but William started sleeping in the room too, and Barnaby sleeps with him, and it's a revolving menagerie now. The beads are Indonesian, Andrew said. Those are Indonesian. Anna says they look Indonesian too. Yes, they are Indonesian. All right. MCD 24. Okay, let's do some of these. You were 15. Now there are 12. Let me see how many there are. Andrew says, we're hoping to fix up our main bedroom. Yeah, we kind of moved out of the main bedroom and hoping to kind of move things that are in there out. We have to get a new bed. That's a big thing. The bed's hurting us both. And so we have to get a new bed, new mattress. The bed we're on, both of us are heavier than we were, so we'd wake up with pains. Yeah. So we're hoping to get a new mattress at some point when we can afford to do that. So for now, we moved into what is the spare bedroom, and we're doing that. And then hopefully we'll pull stuff out of the main one and reorganize and replace some stuff and all that good stuff. This is Green Aventurine. Green Aventurine graduated faceted rounds. Beautiful color. Very nice stones. I think these would go great with this green apatite if you wanted to use them as like spacers. Wouldn't that be really pretty to restring that and use those as spacers with that? This is 52 on that one. And these are $12 each, and there are 3 of them available. I think these are 3mm. Let me check for you. Yes, 3mm beads. MCD 24. Anna says, my father went to, oh wait, oh no, I already said that. Never mind. That's a pretty gradient of green, says Kimberly. Sorry, I thought the comments went further than I thought. Andrew says, I think I was having bad allergy problems in that room with the pink shag carpet. So it'd be nice to have new flooring. Yes, that would be really nice. That'd be really nice to get new flooring in the bedroom too. Let's see here. I'm going to put away the Herkimers or the Packamers. Really cool. Nice salt and pepper kind of color. We had some of those salt and pepper micro-faceted ones the other day. These would go so well with those if you got any of those. MCD 19. And I'm going to go ahead and put 20 away as well. That's the green apatite. Beautiful strand was 62, bringing it down to only 52. Marion says, pink shag, OMG, I may puke. Right? I know. Andrew says, I love the inclusions. Aren't they? Yeah, they are really pretty on that. On those Herkimers. Andrew says, wow, that's a deal. I'm giving deals today, Andrew. I know. I told them don't tell Andrew. Don't tell Andrew. Oh wait, it's an even number. That means it's a giveaway time. Okay. How about this? Let me cut one of these away. This is a giveaway. This is a dyed quartz strand. Dyed quartz. And let's see. What can I ask? What can I ask? What can I ask? What have we talked about? We've talked about so much, and yet, oh, maybe this. If you know, the last thing I was working on in my pottery class. How about that? What is the last thing that I mentioned working on in my pottery class? I had mentioned I was doing some things. What are they? Does anyone know? This might be too hard. We'll see. William has a chair from his grandparents. It's missing the motor. It'd be nice to get one so we can actually sit on it. Yeah, maybe, possibly. If we could do that, that would be nice. We also have a huge dresser from the previous owner. It's nice, but it's too big and we don't use it. Yeah, we want to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Kimberly says mugs. No, I'm not working on mugs. Not working on mugs. Anybody else have a guess? Michelle says, I missed too many lives. I know. Maybe this is too hard. I'll give it a few more seconds. See if anybody gets it. If not, I will change the question. It might be too hard. Andrew says, I know the answer. Kimberly says, I must have missed that one. Susan says, I have a terrible memory. Me too, Susan. Me too. If it wasn't my own life, I wouldn't know either. Give a few more seconds. Okay, so the answer. Oh, Andrew's trying to give you some hints. It's what folks use to determine how things will look. And it says, I love the little bowls you make. Thank you. I just put about 5 of them, more of them, into the online store. So that's a plug. Those are now available in the online store. I think there are 4 of them left right now. Andrew tried to give you a hint. It's what folks use to determine how things will look. Anybody? Anybody? No? No? Okay, this I may have to give you a different. Susan says a mirror. Nope. Let's see. Glazes, says Anne. Not quite the answer. Marianne, sample tiles. Yes. Test tiles or sample tiles. You got it, Marianne. I've been working on some test tiles. Andrew said, oh, that's something I did. What did you do, Andrew? What did you do? All right. MCD 25. Michelle guessed plates, right? No, I hardly ever make plates. Plates are hard. Plates are hard. Andrew says, I found a video on rehydrating clay and did that. Hopefully it's out. Oh, nice. Rehydrated some clay. Let me see. What should I sell next, y'all? What do y'all want? Ooh, what about these? These are really nice. And we'll give you a good deal on these. I'm going to give you the best deal ever on these. I don't think we've ever gone. Andrew also said, I also worked on a Medusa. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Susan says, now I remember. Kimberly says, me too, Susan, now that it's been mentioned, right? Test tiles, y'all. Test tiles. Oh, hopefully it works out, Andrew meant. Okay. This is purple demortarite, also sometimes called apparently lavender jasper. Purple demortarite, I think, is a better name. But some people don't know what that is. And the name lavender people like. But these are really, really pretty. We've never priced them down at $28 before. I've just got the 1 strand left. And these are 12.5 millimeters by 9. Kind of. Sorry, I need a drink. My throat just went very dry. Okay, there we go. Kind of a flattened, faceted barrel, we'll say. Really pretty stones. They also call it Nevada Rose, Andrew says. That's right, Nevada Rose. So there's like lots of names for this. It's like they're trying to find a name that people like because it's a really pretty stone, but you got to know what they're talking about. So MCD 25. Oh, Andrew also is working on a beading pattern for Patreon people. He's coming out with a new beading pattern. CD 26. So if you follow us on the Patreon, get ready. You might see that. $32. down to 26. Lowest price ever on these as well. These are lampwork beads. And look at this look at these colors. Like that? Like that color together? Beautiful colors. They were 32 as priced, giving you a deal at $26 for the strand. I love those beads right there. Those kind of metallic black beads. Just really super pretty beads. $26 for the strand. Those kind of look like a little bit like my latest pottery vessels that I did, like my dad's garage series that I did. They have that kind of oil slick almost kind of look to them. So MCD 26. Andrew says, I can plot it out on paper, but it doesn't always turn out the way you think. And these are from Alice St. Germain, these beads. Alice St. Germain. Love, love, love these. One strand available, MCD 26. Okay, that means another giveaway. All right. Andrew says it's the same concept of reduction that creates that finish. Nice. Okay. How about a pair of these bone beads? Pair of these bone beads. These are normally $2.25 a piece. So $4.50 there. Oh, we just sold 26. Thank you so much. I'll put that away in a little bit. So that is sold. Thank you. Pair of bone beads. How about this? First person to name any one of our cats can have these. Let's see. Who do y'all like the best? Oh, not the one I thought was going to come up. Not the one I thought was going to come up. Anne says Tallulah. Tallulah. Tallulah's got a fan. All right. Tallulah's got a fan. Let me put this in your bag, Anne. Thank you so much. She used to do shows with Louise Mahaffrey. And so, did you know Louise used to do 4 days? I feel like I did know that she used to do 4 days. Okay. That's a good deal on those. You got a good deal. Thank you so much. Susan says, Isabel, darn autocorrect. I know, it's Idabel, right? Anna says, how did I get behind? I don't know. How did you get behind? What's going on? What's happening over there? MCD 27. Make sure you're live at the live time. Andrew says, Tallulah is cute, but she is annoying. Yeah, she is super cute and she's very loving in her way. Like she doesn't really pick favorites, she just loves. But if you are working on something, she wants to be helping you. We think she sometimes just likes to cause trouble to get attention. Kimberly says, I knew that you would ask the name of one or all of your cats. Anna says answer showed up before the question. Yeah, you might have to rejoin. Shell recommends rejoining. Oh, Kimberly says I was going through all the names and could not for the life of me remember Ida Bell. Anna says I refreshed, it worked. Oh, good. Andrew says AKA not helping at all. All right. What are we on? 27. 27 here. Let's do these at a really good price for y'all. Instead of 24, we're gonna go down to $20. $22 on these. How many do I have? They're all, come on, let go. Where are you? You're all twisted up. Untwist. There we go. I've got two. These are beautiful aquamarine rondelles. Got two strands available. MCD 27. Beautiful aquamarine rondelles. And they're a little bit, you got some of the blue and a little bit kind of into a mossy, like a green aqua. Beautiful, clear, or beautiful clarity on those. Beautiful aquamarine. There you can see a little bit better. So you get some of the kind of mossy aqua and then the blue. And these were $24 a strand, now 20 only. And they're approximately 4.5 millimeter, 4.5 to 5 millimeter beads on there. Two strands only left. Doing them at $20 only for you. MCD 27. Let's see. Oh boy, Andrew's like if you were trying to do something particular and precarious, she'll try to get up in it. Says I was cleaning the living room and I'd throw stuff in the trash and she'd pull it back out. She loves to walk on the keyboard, especially when you're in a meeting. And she steals. She likes to steal copper crystal colored things. I found a stash of S word that she had. Yeah, she does like that copper crystal color. She's like that ever since she was a baby. That's her favorite color. Okay, I'm going to put away the Wahi Blue Opal. It is still available, but unsold, $34. It's number 22. And I'm going to put away 23. That's the Indonesian glass for $6 only. I'll move these down. I always forget I can go over to there. She does run to me, says Andrew. Yeah, she's one of the few cats when Andrew calls for somebody, when he needs some comforting, she is always running to him. Andrew says, I don't know why, because I tell her she's annoying. I tell her I'm going to spank her butt, and she puts her butt in the air. Yeah, she does. She does do that too. She's pretty dang cute, honestly. She's a beautiful girl. All right. This was $60. I have one strand left, so I'm going to bring it down to $42. This is Fire Sunstone. Beautiful Fire Sunstone. And these are large. These are about 10.5 millimeter beads of Fire Sunstone. See lots of good flashes in there. Just one strand left. Beautiful Fire Sunstone beads. These were super popular on our website. But I really should just put these back in because we used to sell a bunch of these on there. One strand left, $42. Fire Sunstone. Andrew said, these are beautiful. They really are. They're really good. Michelle says, those are fire. Yeah, they're really nice. Anne says, Daniel Tiger is super cute, sweet, and cuddly, but when he wants food, he will scratch my face right off. Not his fault, but still annoying. He also hates it when I'm in the studio. Yeah. Those cats, right? Those cats. Yeah, ours are pretty good for food. Like they are, they can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but they're actually pretty patient for the most part. I fed them today before the live, but if I don't, sometimes they're still there after, and um, they just wait outside the door, wait for me to come out. How about this? We don't usually do these for a giveaway, but why not? I have one strand of these beautiful apatite microfaceted rounds. And I'm going to do these as a giveaway for you all. We don't normally do that, but I've only got this one strand left. So how about it? Let's see. What can a question be? Oh, Andrew says, Gilbert is my little boy, but I don't like that they get after each other so much. Sounds like someone is getting murdered. Yeah, Gilbert goes after Gertie and they chase each other, and Gertie leaves out this wild sound like she's being like massacred. Um, it's kind of frightening at first, but like she's being severely attacked. These are these are sparkly. I don't know if you're getting the sparkle on camera, but they are nice. Trying to think of a question here. Scratching my face would be a heck no, says Kimberly, and that story makes me glad I'm allergic. Susan says Mookie pokes me. Let's see. Question. What's a good question? I don't know. Andrew says, I love Gertie, but she wants to be a white daddy girl, so I'm only good if William is somewhere else. Yeah, Andrew tried to get Gertie to be a golden daddy baby, but she's turned into a white daddy baby. Oh, okay. How's this? I talked about the food that my family often makes for Christmas. Other than my lasagna, what, other than my lasagna and deviled eggs, because we talked about those two pretty quickly, what did we have to eat? How about that? name a food that we had other than my lasagna or deviled eggs that I had for Christmas dinner. Susan says pie, but what kind, Susan? You need to be more specific because there was only one kind of pie. Kimberly says I wasn't on yet. We talked about this yesterday too, what we were going to have. Susan says pumpkin. There you go. That's good for me. Yeah, we did talk about it not yesterday, but on Christmas Eve. I went through the list of what my family was bringing too. You could have got it. You were there, Kimberly, right? But you had to remember from like over the holiday, and that's hard. um Andrew says Gilbert was trying to sit on the cat tree and Gertie cried like she was getting murdered, and then security came and then Idabelle came to bully him. Yeah, it was. Um Andrew says, I don't know why they're so protective of that recipe. Which recipe? Which recipe? Um Daniel was food deprived before I adopted him. It's not his fault. It's a trauma response, but my face still doesn't like it. Oh boy. Yeah, I get it. I definitely get that. Poor Daniel. Good thing he's got you now. Oh, the fake meatball recipe is like a guarded secret. I'll have to see because actually, so there are two fake meatball recipes, and one is my grandmother's, and one is one that they found somewhere, I think. And I don't know which one we actually um, had because they're very similar. And so I think one might have been so guarded that somebody else found another that was close enough because I can't really tell the difference. Um, Kimberly says, LOL, I've slept since then. Well, your brain just does a dump after you sleep, right? Brain dump. Um, I'm doing good if I remember what I ate 2 days ago. I know, me too. Me too. Let alone someone else's meal that they're talking about, right? Um, let's see. What are we doing for the last bit of the show here today? Um, um, hmm, let's do something. Oh, I keep pulling in. Those are not. I don't need those. Oh, I didn't know I had these either. Ooh, I didn't know I had any of these. Andrew says, I'm just going to look on my own. Well, my mom made them this time, so I bet I could get that recipe from my mom because she's the one that made it. Usually my sister-in-law makes them, and my mom made them this time, and they were good. I bet we could get it from my mom. She would give it to us. I had no idea we still had these. These are gorgeous. Um, these are garnets. Beautiful garnets. Faceted, graduated, stunningly beautiful, high quality garnets. I'm just kind of in a daze looking at them. They're really pretty and a really beautiful color. And they come on a sterling silver chain in lobster claw. And they were $105. For today only, $75. There is only one. Andrew said, those are nice. They are graduated from about 4 millimeters up to about 8 millimeters. There is one strand available. Those are really beautiful. Those are some nice, very nice garnets. $75 for the strand, one strand available. And that strand has just sold. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. All right. And then MCD30. We're on for the last thing. We're on for the last thing. I don't know. Let's do this one. This was 96. I'm gonna do 70. 76. MCD 30. Last one, and then we'll do another giveaway. These are hand carved blue chalcedony in a lotus, 2 whole beads. Hand carved lotus, blue chalcedony, 2 whole beads. Really stunningly beautiful and really detailed carvings. Each one is different because they are hand carved. Blue chalcedony. On screen, it looks lighter than it is in person. It is actually a almost a purpley blue. I mean, it has that hint of that kind of purpley blue in person. One strand available was 96. Andrew says, I was hoarding these. I know. These are probably going to go back into Andrew's collection if they don't sell. Because it took a lot to get him to release these. So that's the last lot for sale tonight. And then let's do another giveaway. What do you all want? What do you want for a giveaway? Let's try and find something nice again. I mean, they're all nice. I think the giveaways have been pretty nice, I think. Let's see what I can do here. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull one of these strands. We don't normally ever do this kind of thing for a giveaway. Andrew, come up with a question. I don't know. Question that I know the answer to. Andrew said, someone begged up and down for me to sell these and they never bought them. The 2 whole ones. Yeah, he finally released them and no one has bought them yet. We just sold 28. Thank you so much. Andrew, let's see. Andrew says, where am I teaching in 2026? And I don't know if I know all the answer. We already asked that, and contemporary craft is already out. So we already used that question before. But where else is Andrew teaching? And I don't know if I remember. I don't have your schedule yet. But this is what we're giving away. This is pre-night cubes. High quality pre-night cubes. These are 4.5 millimeters. You get a whole strand of them. Really, really nice beads. And answer, where's Andrew teaching in 2026? and I'll have to call out because I'm not sure I know where all he's teaching in 2026. Is it in the calendar? I'm looking at the calendar. Okay, I saw that one. And there's that one. Okay, now I know. Anybody? Anybody know where Andrew's teaching? So he gave some hints. Taught powder coating there last year, and he's teaching colored pencil on metal at a place that he was a board member. And he's teaching water slide decals at the place where he taught powder coating last year. Kimberly says, I saw a post, but I can't remember, and I'm not on my computer to go look. Michelle says, I only knew contemporary craft. Anybody? Anybody? And Susan got it. Touchstone. So Touchstone and Peters Valley were the answers. Touchstone and Peters Valley. I wasn't sure if Touchstone, I couldn't remember if Touchstone was released yet. That's why I didn't want to say. In Peters Valley, I always I wasn't sure if it was Peters Valley or another one. That's good. So that is Susan. Got that one. And I'm going to pick up 28 because that one has now sold. And that, our friends, is it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a great and amazing weekend. We will be back here next week. But at least for part of the week, because it's going to be New Year's, right? I don't know, what day is New Year's. What's happening? When is New Year's? So New Year's Eve is next Wednesday, which is why I don't have pottery class next Wednesday either. New Year's Day will be next Thursday. So some of the days next week we'll be doing lives. Some of them we won't. We used to have a New Year's Eve party. I don't know if we're going to do a New Year's Eve party. If y'all want to hang out, I don't know what you're all up to. Anybody interested in a New Year's Eve party? Let us know. Andrew says, I mentioned it, but they haven't released signups for the Touchstone yet because it's a 2-day class. Okay. And he says, they've got some good classes coming. There's a Robert Mullen stone setting class. Kimberly says, Peters Valley is the one I was trying to remember. And Anna says, that was my first guess. I should have said it, right? Good night, says Anna. Great to see you. You too. Michelle lost her connection, says, bye, everyone. Goodbye, Michelle. Have a good night. Kimberly says, not against it, but may have to be a come and go. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we're doing, what's going on. We'll fill everybody out starting next week and see what people are thinking. But yeah, so thank you all. I'm going to get this done and then probably try and work on finishing up some of the things for Andrew and then some dinner. So have a great one, everybody. And we'll see you back here next week. Bye, everybody.